Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today I was invited by Orbis International to tour their MD-10 Flying Eye Hospital, the only flying hospital in the world. Here's my experience on board the really fascinating MD-10. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you again guys, and I'll see you in the next video.
To talk about, but it's still a fun airplane to fly. Your left elbow up on the glare shield.
Oh, up on the glare shield?
Yeah, that looks like you'll throw and then kind of is a nice look.
That's true. What's that?
Actual legroom on a plane, that's unheard of.
Well, those aren't really passenger seats.
Gotcha.
Well, they are passenger seats, but it's primary purpose is the plastic. Well, you know,
Then you get a
different type rating. Yeah, a DC-10 pilot cannot fly this airplane,
gotcha.
but an MD-11 pilot can.
That's right. Because it's just a little bit, MD-11 is a little bit longer than the MD.
Yeah, it looks very similar to this one, but this is actually newer technology. This actually redesignated the airplane from a DC-10-30 to an MD-10-30. If you look at the data plate on the door, there's the old DC-10 data plate from 1973, and then there's the MD-10 data plate from 2001. It was way more than just an avionics package for us. So basically anything to do with the airplane's maintenance or office, that's our deal. We have several of our staff are volunteer pilots that are here for FedEx. So you're in the classroom. So remember, Orbis is a non-profit organization. Everything we do and are able to do are funded by individuals like yourself and organizations like FedEx and the airport here helping us park here for free, stuff like that, help us do our work that we get to do.
So in 2012, FedEx donated the airplane to Orbis.
The plane really is an engineering masterpiece, and FedEx has helped us not only bring the best people.
Yeah. When they get to where they're going, they take a whole and make the activity.
We also have the laser machine, that's why this laser room. That one's over there. And we can do treatment for diabetic retinopathy, we can do for glaucoma, also for cataract with that machine. But also very interesting, what you're seeing here is our simulators for surgery. Because it's very difficult to learn how to do surgery. And one of the doctors on board, Alvaro is one of the biomed engineer. And what we normally do is train the doctors before they go with real patients. So they spend time here with this simulator. It's just a virtual reality and very specific to do cataract surgery, also vitreoretinal surgery. Everything is prepared for the patient before they go to the operating room. So everything happens here, so we spend time with the local doctors and we do training, we spend hours, probably 10, 20 before they go with the real patients there. So it's a complete process, and you see the screen for the program, especially when we have kids. So they have some movies there, so we prepare everything, we make them very comfortable because sometimes it's the first time for the patient being in a plane. So this is the first part of the clinical area. So they spend time here, the local doctors and also the patients, and then they will go with the patient to the operating room with real surgery happen. We have volunteer faculty also for nurses and biomeds. We have 2 biomeds, and we invite 2 or 3 biomeds per week. So it's a lot of people working in the.
From all over the world?
Yes, but mainly from the States. I can say probably 70% of the volunteer faculty is from the States. But we're going to Asia next month. And we have some volunteer faculty from India or China. The volunteer faculty are top doctors in their specialty, so if we need to do retina surgery and a specific epiretinal membrane, which is a very specific surgery, so we get the proper guy to do that. We put everybody in contact and with communication but mainly from the States.
They join you in the country of
Yes.
service? They don't hop on the plane and come?
No, they travel like commercial flights, and sometimes we also travel in commercial flights most of the time, because the logistics is a little bit complicated. You have to do planning visits and a lot of things.
Hey, good morning everybody. My name is Leo Mercado. I'm from the Philippines and one of the nurses here. And I've been working here for 23 years now. Okay, so welcome to our operating room. We have only one operating room here. And we do only 4 to 5 cases a day. Because this is a teaching hospital, we don't do a lot of surgery. Our surgeon, they are wearing a microphone here while they are doing the surgery, and they explain everything whenever they touch on the eyes. So it's broadcast everything what we are doing here in the classroom. And this time we have the US one is the 3D. So whenever the participants watching there, they are using 3D glass. Wow. So whatever our surgeon can see, the depth of the eyes here, they can see actually also there. Not unlike before, it's boring to watch. It's just watch TV here. But this time, the depth of the eyes, they can also see in the class. So in this room, we have 5 cameras, but they are all different uses. We have one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, in the middle. So the camera on the microscope, we use this for the anterior vitrectomy and also for the glaucoma and cataract. The other one, the middle here, we use for the oculoplastic and strabismus. We don't use this. And this one here at the middle, when we do the corneal graft, we need to teach them the proper way how to cut the cornea. Because cornea, you mess the cornea, it's very expensive. And if they mess it and the eyes is already open, that's it. They need to return back the eyes of the cornea of the patient. Because sometimes if we don't have the backup cornea, they need to put again the cornea that the patient. We have also trainees here, 2 local nurses that we train them every day. We have also 2 local anesthesiologists and 2 trainees for the surgeon. So all in all in this room, sometimes we are 14. And this is small room. We have the translator, we have the trainees, we have the Orbis nurses, and the doctor's nurses. And sometimes we have a photographer or the media doing like this. So you just stand like this. It should be like this, apart on the when you see this blue, everything it's sterile. So you cannot at least 1 inch. No, 12 inches apart of that. And we have also the anesthesia machine here that we use for the general anesthesia. When we put the patient into sleep, we have 2 machines there from Alcon company. The first one we use for the cataract, the PACO, and the other one is for the posterior vitrectomy. So those are the latest machines from Alcon. This room is the most stable room because FedEx, they did a lot of support under this. So even if you jump, the microscope, because the microscope, you just touch like this, it will move. And the surgeon can tell you, move my microscope. Don't touch my microscope. Because it will move on the eye. So this one is the most stable. Even if it's windy in the airport, the one at the back, they feel that they are doing like this, but here you cannot feel it. We do surgery here, and at the same time we do also in the local hospital. We have 2 groups that every day there is people in the local hospital that they work, and then we have also here. If we have 3 doctors, the volunteer doctors, the 2 of them are working here, and the other one is working in the local hospital. And then they rotate on the plane. If the patient is nice for teaching, they do it on the plane. because in the local hospital we don't have all this camera. But the good things is the trainees, the doctors that we train them, they can work in their own facilities, in their own machine. If they don't know how to use their machine and everything, all these things, our doctor can help them to train them with their facilities. And they let them to do the surgery, and our doctor, they are watching them. But not unlike here, I saw lots of people, doctors, from local doctors. They try to do it here, but because all the participants in the front, they are all colleagues with this doctor, they are shaking. They cannot work properly. But you take them in the local hospital, they can work because it's they used to use their own facilities.
Are there any places where you've gone where there is not a local hospital? And this
No,
is it?
no,
No, there is.
We need to have a partner.
There needs to be a partner.
Unless if it's only simulation, we don't do in the local hospital. We do it all the simulation on the plane.
Oh, I was going to say on the bed.
And I'm from, where am I from?
South Africa.
Yes, thank you. Not Australia. Yes. I'm one of the staff nurses that work on board the plane. So whenever there's a program, I'll be allocated the plane program. So this is the recovery room, given to us by FedEx, and this is the place where I know you were just seeing Omar, so the patient's admitted there, and then they're brought to one of these beds, and this is the place that we'll check the patient before the surgery. If it's a child, about 50% of the patients we do are children, so we try and make this area as child-friendly as possible. We have these little teddy bears, so each of the children get a teddy, and we allow the patients' parents to be with them all the time, even to the time that they're going to the operating room, and we get them to give them a kiss goodbye, and then we bring them out. And that's usually where the parent actually needs the most support. Because coming onto the plane and then to a hospital, giving your child over to a stranger or strangers, it gets very, very overwhelming. So usually they need a really big hug once they come out and get them a cup of tea and everything. And then once the patient's brought out, we'll bring them to this area and then we recover them here. And it'll be, if it's a general anesthesia, so we do both general and local anesthesia where the patient goes to sleep, or where we can inject the area or give them drops to numb the area. And then they're awake during the surgery. So depending if they were under general anesthesia, they'll be here for about an hour or hour and a half, and they get taken back to the local hospital. So they stay at the local hospital the night before their surgery, and then after they have their surgery, they get taken back to the local hospital. They stay that evening, and then they get seen by the surgeon to make sure everything is going well with the patient. So all the while, yes, we do help the patients with their surgery, but we're a teaching hospital mainly. So if I'm allocated to this area, then I'll have a hands-on training nurse with me, and I will be instructing him or her in everything that I do here. Yeah. And what's really very nice as well is that I'm either allocated here on the plane in one of these three areas, or I'll be allocated to the local hospital, because simultaneously we do surgeries at the local hospital that we've partnered with, as well as here on the plane. So we mimic the training in their area and implement what they've been trained in with their resources and their supplies, so that once we leave, they're able to continue with what they've learned. They get brought here with the ambulance and taken back with an ambulance. So there's a lot of logistics involved in all of that. Getting the correct patients in the ambulance and the correct patients at the hospital. And sometimes, or often, actually, I'll be with have a translator with me, instructing my nurse, the nurse that I'm training, in everything that I'm doing.
So you are involved start to finish when you're going to a destination.
That's pretty cool.